3 grilled cheese sandwiches. That's for obvious reasons. Hey, welcome back to Two Stall Garage. Today I'm going to talk about the top 5 reasons why I started changing my oil at home. You can start very simply. It's very easy. One step at a time. Let's get started. All right, well, here we are. We're still working on this 2009 Ford Taurus. We are on schedule to get this done this week. We're doing an oil change. Next video coming up, we're going to be replacing the brakes and the rotors. And after that, we're going to go ahead and replace both front wheel bearing and hub assemblies. First things first, when changing the oil, there's going to be all kinds of resources online for you to use. You should be able to do it without any issues. You can go find them on your phone. You can find them on a laptop, a desktop, doesn't really matter. Done the oil change on this before, and all you really need to do is do it once on your vehicle and you're going to be set. You're going to know exactly what to do, how long it takes you, and you're going to do it with saving time and money. It takes time to drive to the gas stations, or not gas stations, it takes time to drive to the Valvoline Quick Lube or Quaker State, whatever. I don't know if they have Quaker State anymore. I know the oil filter is right straight down from here. I'm going to go ahead and jack it up on this side so I can get underneath. First thing I'm using for this is a 3-ton jack. This is a jack I picked up at Harbor Freight a long time ago. Pretty sure I spent $114 on it at that time, I do believe. Let's make sure we're on there. You got your certain points where you jack these things up. What in the world, did I just step on a mole? I think I just stepped on a mole. What are the chances of that? Sorry, buddy. At least it wasn't a moose. Moose is inside right now. He's hanging out. If you're gonna change the oil on your car, make sure you're safe. First off, I'm literally just using this to jack it up so I can put a jack stand underneath. Okay, how much higher are we gonna go? We're gonna go a little bit higher. I'm just gonna check to make sure I'm still on that jack point, and I am. Now I'm grabbing one of these jack stands. You can get these at Walmart for cheap. Otherwise, you can get them at Harbor Freight as well. They did have some recalls before on jack stands. But now you're to the point where you can get the jack stands that do not have recalls on them. Flip my hat around here so I can see where I'm putting this. I am just gonna go right there. Okay. So I got a jack stand. I'm gonna lower it down just a little bit so it sits on it. All right, so I got pressure on both the jack stand and the actual jack itself. You can be sure that you're gonna get dirty, so I'm gonna put this jacket on. So I don't want to get my shirt completely messed up. And now we're gonna go right underneath the car here. Here's your jack stand. And there is your oil filter. So I'm gonna dry that off so I can get that off of there. Stand by. All right, let's dry this off. It's winter time, so it gets a little wet and crusty underneath. Counterclockwise to loosen it up, this way. Let's see if we can get it here. You should be able to do just what I'm doing here and loosen this up, just like that. Now what I'm going to do is put the oil pan underneath. You need to get one of these, Walmart, Menards, Harbor Freight, wherever. This one I had picked up from Menards. See if I can do this one-handed for you. Let's see, you got a little hole here to open up. Should just come right down. Here it comes. Gonna get some oil that drips off. I kind of just let that drip. Yeah. For everyone who knows how to change oil, and you're just along to see this Taurus get closer and closer to be shipped, feels good to be getting it closer to getting out of the shop here. Slippery. Come on. Lots of threads. Makes your arm hurt. A little break. Okay. Okay. There we go. Let that sit on top of that tray. While that is draining, let's go get the other oil filter right up on top. Okay, here we go. For this specific one, we got the 57502 wicks. It says 2011 on it, but it's for 2009 as well. They're the same motor. Take it out, just confirm, 57502. Take a little oil. Put a little oil on the outside there, that will do. Sit. While that's sitting there, let's take a look at something. Right over here on our board, we got the oil change at home. There's always some online instructions, just like we talked about. Simple tools are required. So far I've used my hand, and that's it. 3 grilled cheese sandwiches. That's for obvious reasons. Get hungry. 4, knowledge and time savings. You know the job is getting done. You know if it's getting done right or wrong because you're the one doing it. Then you save time. You don't have to drive to the station to get it changed. Number 5, feeling of accomplishment. It's nice to feel accomplished, right? Feels good. Especially when you're working on this majestic Ford Taurus. You can use the same process for an 0809 Mercury Sable and for many other vehicles out on the road, most of them actually. Now they got oil on here, let's go down underneath. Might drip some oil on the floor, don't worry about it. Don't sweat the small stuff. You can see under there where the filter screws in. Typically you want to keep your filter dry on the outside, otherwise you're going to try to... What in the world? We got the wrong filter. Silly. Oh boy. Oh my, that doesn't make any sense. What in the world? Which one was this one? 51516. That is silly, isn't it? Well, I guess we're going to get a filter. Be right back. We're not going with this car. All right, just like that, we're back. It's been about a day. I think I started this yesterday afternoon, so it's the evening tonight. It's about 9 o'clock at night. Went to Napa, picked up a gold filter, 1516. If you're going wicks, it's 51516. Let's go ahead and get this going again. Let's keep moving along. We were going to put the oil filter on, but we ran out of parts since we didn't have the right oil filter. Check this out. I'm starting to sand down. The hood's all sanded. I don't know what in the world I got on there. What dropped on that? Silly, huh? It's still got to be cleaned off with the final prep, of course. But it looks good. Nice and smooth. Get ready for that transformation. All right, here we go. See if I can just swing you right underneath there. Should be able to see, hopefully. I already oiled up the filter. You want to make sure you oil that up, that little O-ring that goes around the edge. That's feeling like it's going to fit much better. Now it's tight. It's got pressure on it or tension. So with that said, you don't need to over tighten it. There we go. So I should be able to get that off without any tools next time I come around to change the oil. Stay tuned for that video. It'll be about 12,000 miles from now. Our daughter's gonna have this car, so we'll just have to stay up on it. I don't know, do I still have a transmission fluid leak somewhere? Just don't understand where that would be from. Really need to get this cleaned up underneath. Okay, toss that over. With every car, you're gonna have an oil plug. This one is right there. Hopefully you can see that. Here we are. Now I know you're sideways, but bear with me. It is a 15, so go ahead and throw that on there. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. There we go. Now I'm going to reach over with my wrench and grab the oil drain pan. Come on down. Check out the oil plug, make sure it looks good. This is the drain pan plug. Like I said, the first time you do this with your car, you're going to learn all about it. Learn how much oil it takes to be right on that full mark. After that, it's smooth sailing. All right, are we almost done there? Where are we at? There's just a little bit coming out yet. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put the drain plug in now. Make sure you don't cross thread these and make sure you don't over tighten them. You don't need to. Don't leave them loose, but don't just crank on them. That's pretty much the general rule of thumb that I have here in our house, I guess you could say. That's it, that'll do it. Don't forget your oil pan in there. We'll pull that out. Clean off our tools here. There we go. Garbage. Oops. 15, put that back. Couldn't remember what it was, so I just grabbed them all. It was right on the first one, if that counts for anything. $17, $18, silly. There we go. And $19. No $16 apparently. I got to fill in some of these. Didn't have them from the beginning. All right, if you look under here, got a little bit of oil that, what is that? Where did that come from? Anybody remember? You see that right over there? What in the world is that? Huh. Oh, it looks like it leaked over the side a little bit. It did. Yeah, that's the problem with this thing. It leaked over right there. Just this part right here just isn't down far enough. So if you're going to Menards, you're going to get this little one. Maybe see if you can find one somewhere else that doesn't have that problem. Keep letting that drain. Here's our cap for it. Right there. All right, so once you have the oil filter on, you can keep this. You can write your mileage right here. Put that in your glove box or wherever you want to put it. Okay, with that said, while you're looking at that, I'm going to go ahead and just do a little bit of cranking here on the jack. I'm going to get it up off that jack stand. There we go. All right, we'll let our jack down. Don't just drop it down. Let it down slowly until you know you're in the clear to let it down a little bit quicker if you desire to. All right, right here. Here's your oil cap, 5W20. Put that right here. Pull out your dipstick. Might be in a different location depending on what type of car you have. Don't worry, it's there. And don't forget to put this in like I do. Just gonna leave it sitting right there for a moment. All right, and grab yourself a funnel. This is a quick fill funnel. I cut it down a little bit. Make sure it's clean on the inside. This is telling me either 5 or 6 quart. I don't know. I'd say it's saying it's 5, which is why I kind of cut that off, but it is about 5.5 quarts. So let's just get them lined up here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll see where that brings it to. 2, 3. Engine's not hot. Sometimes you start it up, let it run before you change the oil. It was. But then we didn't have the oil filter, so it is what it is. First one down the hatch. For those of you experienced out there, what do you use for motor oil? We use AMSOIL in pretty much everything. You can see we got quite a bit of it right here. The reason is because Dad brought us up. I was always using AMSOIL. And I abused the engine of my high school car, and it never gave me any major difficulties, any major troubles. Had over 400,000 miles on it by the time I had graduated. And it was actually stuck for about the last year and a half at 384. Always wanted to see it roll over to 400,000, but I didn't get to. Sold it to a guy for $120. And that was the end of it. At least the end of me owning it. There's 3 quarts. You have 4 or 5 here. Sometimes if you dump these in too fast, it definitely comes back on you. Not the case here. Here's quart number 5 going in. All right. Cap. All right, let's fire it up real quick. Just do a real quick check here. We got the oil filter on, oil plug is in, old oil was drained, 5 quarts are down the hatch. Start it up, let it run for about 20 seconds. Not even that really. We'll see where we're at for a level. It smells like food in here. Fire in the hole. Oil light is off immediately. Everything looks good. All right, shut it down. All right, let's see where we're at. Give it a good old wipe down start. Go ahead and put down. In, out. And we are, survey says we're about a quart low. So that must say 6. All right, we're gonna do another quart. All right, there's quart number 6. I have a feeling it might be just a little bit full. Doesn't need more than 6 quarts, that's for sure. So we're gonna call that done. Still gotta get all this cleaned up, by the way. It's gonna happen shortly. We're working on the Honda 3-wheeler restoration tomorrow. We're gonna finish that gas tank. We're gonna start putting stuff on. Rock and roll time. Okay, final check up top. Oil cap on, dipstick secure. Good to go. No leaks underneath. Had oil pressure. Close it up. Leave a fingerprint on your freshly sanded hood. It's okay. All right, well that's gonna do it. I think we're gonna wrap up this video. I appreciate you watching. Hope you guys have a good night. If you're working on something at home and you have a couple setbacks, don't worry about it. Finish it up the next day or the next 2 days, doesn't really matter. We got a lot more work to finish up on this. We got a short amount of time to do it. We got the 3-wheeler waiting in the wings. Got to get that gas tank done right over here. Got to get this mess cleaned up. This is going to the chicken coop outside, and it's starting to get really cold out. I think it's down to about 15 tonight. It's going to get down into single digits pretty soon here. Look at my garage lights. They fell down. Can you believe that? One of them caught the door and just made a big mess. Can I just snap my way out of this mess? Oh. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. This is gonna turn out really nice. Really wanna get it done quickly here. Let's keep moving forward. Everybody have a good night. All right, we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.